welfare requirement, Obama is livid. Government entitlement programs seem like a smart thought. On paper. Be that as it may, as a rule, they are mishandled by individuals, making an enormous weight on the citizen. The main genuine solution is to get as many people as possible off these programs. That will urge them to help themselves. However, how? There has been one extraordinary answer for the issue. Many states have begun doing it. Presently one more is joining their ranks. Via Conservative Tribune. According to the Tennessean, Governor Bill Haslam, a conservative Republican, announced this week that his state will reinstate the work requirements nearly a decade after they were waived. As of February 1, 2018, most Tennessee counties will require able-bodied adults who do not have dependents to work 20 hours a week at a job, getting education or training, or volunteering. Recipients will have 90 days to comply with the new regulations once they take effect. When we hit record low unemployment 3 months in a row, then it comes a time to look around and say, are we doing everything the right way? We looked at this and thought, it's hard to justify a waiver. Approximately 58,000 food stamp recipients in Tennessee will be affected by the new requirements, and, if history is any indicator, that means the food stamp rolls are going to plummet. As Fox News notes, similar changes in 13 Alabama counties led to an 85% drop in able-bodied food stamp recipients who didn't fulfill work requirements between January and May of this year. 3 counties in Georgia that instituted the requirements saw a 58% drop in adults receiving benefits. When the program was expanded to 21 more counties, a 62% drop was noted. The prerequisites are not all that much. 20 hours a week is fundamentally low-maintenance work. What's more, this prerequisite is gone for capable grown-ups without any wards. That implies single grown-ups who can undoubtedly look for some kind of employment. However, at whatever point this prerequisite is established, enlisted in these projects plummets. Why? Since these individuals either would prefer not to look for some kind of employment, and lose their advantages, or they look for some kind of employment and choose they don't want handouts. It's a win-win by any metric. While it's extraordinary that the administration needs to help individuals, on your dime, to individuals should need to gain their own particular keep. Gaining cash yourself implies you have the ability to choose how you need to live. You won't have the administration breathing down your neck, restricting your alternatives. That is something we should all embrace. What do you think about this? Do not hesitate and write your thoughts in the comment section below. Thank you for reading. HT Conservative Tribune. No one expected this. This man just leaked the disgusting truth NFL is desperate to hide from American people. Stuart Varney has now joined Fox and Friends on Monday to discuss the NFL national anthem controversy. This Sunday, 200 NFL players and staff knelt down to protest the national anthem. Varney reminded the whole Fox and Friends nation that the NFL stadium has gathered $1 billion in government endowments. He said, there's $1.1 billion in direct subsidies from taxpayers to the NFL. Taxpayer subsidies go to the building of stadiums. There have been 20 new NFL stadiums since 1997. All of them have received a degree of taxpayer subsidies. That is shocking. Watch him underneath. Amazing. They don't respect the nation, yet all these NFL groups utilize citizen funds to build their gigantic stadiums. As indicated by Fox Sports, the American public has burned through $7 billion to build and revamp NFL stadiums in the course of the most recent 20 years. The U.S. citizen regularly pays 46% of the cost to construct these tasks. It's an ideal opportunity to cut them off. Offer this on the off chance that you concur. The NFL doesn't respect us. For what reason would it be a good idea for us to regard them? God bless this nation and every one of those that have died and battled for it. What do you think about this? Do not hesitate and write your thoughts in the comment section below. Thank you for reading. Look what Maine governor took away from Lib sheriffs, they are furious. Lib philosophy has spread so profoundly in America, it's even in law enforcement. Which is the reason this next sentence will sound abnormal. An elected official just signed a law that makes law enforcement authorities comply the law. On the off chance that it sounds abnormal. Well, it is. However, Maine Governor Paul LePage has been experiencing difficulty getting his sheriffs to work with ICE. So he sent them a message: comply, or I'll fire you. Via Daily Caller. Republican Maine Gov. Paul LePage vowed to fire any sheriff who defied his order to cooperate with federal immigration enforcement officials. LePage explicitly threatened to remove any sheriff who refuses to comply with ICE requests to extend the detention of arrested individuals suspected of violating federal immigration law. You may ask why a senator needs to proclaim that he will fire somebody who will oppose the law. Also, the appropriate response is, well, the law is slow. In the event that a local sheriff arrests somebody, books him, and after that anticipates releasing him, he, as a rule, can't hold him past his release date. Much of the time, that date is something close to 24 to 36 hours after the arrest. To put it plainly, in case you're arrested amid some kind of public fight, however, aren't charged, you'll be released after a particular time. Furthermore, you can't be held past that time, unless there's a particular charge against you, or a warrant out for your arrest. What's more, unless, obviously, you're in the nation illicitly. The issue, however, is this current: there's truly no system set up for ensuring that local law enforcement holds somebody until the point when ICE arrives. That is the reason it's typically called an ICE request instead of an ICE order. Influencing an ICE to ask for a request would require a considerable measure of lawful paperwork and court dates. The law is slow. Also, it's the reason Governor LePage chose to make it an unequivocal request. However, of his own. Which is considerably quicker. What's more, he had justifiable motivation to do as such. The governor's announcement, which references his authority to dismiss sheriffs who defy his orders, appears to be directed at Cumberland County Sheriff Kevin Joyce. Joyce informed ICE that he would not comply with requests to detain arrested individuals beyond their scheduled release date, absent a warrant. You mean a sheriff boldly opposed government law? What's more, the governor needed to remove the time from his date to let him know he'd be let go. In any event, a few people see how to carry out their jobs. What do you think about this? Do not hesitate and write your thoughts in the comment section below. Thank you for reading. HT The Daily Caller. No one expected this. Hillary Clinton is terrified at what a federal judge just ordered to be made public. On the off chance that one thing conservatives never appear to beat, it's the energy of Hillary's corruption. That appears to be invincible, regardless of the possibility that her presidential campaign wasn't. The actuality is the main genuine loss that Clinton suffered, after she gave law, order, and transparency the middle finger, again and again, was her campaign loss. Which is to state, the punishment Clinton got for her unlawful activities was simply, well, you can't be president. Which is not really a punishment. Be that as it may, a large portion of the US doesn't appear to mind any longer. Fortunately for whatever remains of us, a couple of valiant legitimate wizards still care. Furthermore, they simply won a noteworthy triumph against Clinton, and now a judge has requested the points of interest of her email test to be made open. Via Daily Caller. A federal judge ordered the FBI Thursday to publicly release previously unseen documents related to the investigation into former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton's use of a private email server. U.S. District Judge James E. Boasberg ordered the FBI to produce uncensored court documents describing the grand jury subpoenas issued to force Clinton's internet service providers to turn over information related to her private server use. The caller, obviously, is utilizing its typical professionally subdued language. So let me interpret, for the average individual, it's about damn time. The FBI wants to turn over records identified with Hillary Clinton. To everybody. Furthermore, given that they were attempting to shroud this data a couple of days prior makes this decision particularly sweet. On the off chance that you review, Hillary's related messages were kept mystery by the FBI, even after a Freedom of Information Act request. The FBI denied the demand on the grounds that, get this, general society essentially didn't care. Or, on the other hand, in any event, that was the reason. So it's fitting that only a couple of days after the fact, a federal judge orders the FBI to begin talking. The conservative specialists concur. I applaud the court's opinion. The government attempted to end a case with evidence no one could review. This order makes public those details. Americans should have an opportunity to contest the relevance of the government's facts. This is the main significant triumph against Clinton's unlawful server use since, well, ever. Every other person has failed. Stay tuned. This might be the initial move towards justice. What do you think about this? Do not hesitate and write your thoughts in the comment section below. Thank you for reading. HT The Daily Caller. Back in the spotlight. Bernie Sanders caught in $450,000 corruption scandal, he can't escape now. U.S. Senator Bernie Sanders, IVT, the self-declared socialist, has no issue with other individuals balance his bills. As per the Daily Wire, Sanders went to various states as a feature of his campaign for the presidency. Cities in those states detailed that he's neglected to pay $450,000 for security services used to protect him. Cities in Ohio, Arizona, California, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, and Washington have all announced that Sanders has neglected to remunerate them for security services rendered to his campaign in 2016. Lachlan Markay, a staff writer for the Washington Free Beacon, posted a tweet of Sanders' exceptional obligations saying Bernie Sanders' campaign still owes a disputed $450,000 to cities where he campaigned. Clinton and Trump, on the other hand, have settled all 2016 debts. Rob Pyers, a finance data master for California Target Book, asserts in a tweet demonstrating Sanders' unpaid bill that he has $5 million to pay from campaign donations, however, hasn't utilized it for the obligations. As Bernie returns to CA, $5M plus left in his campaign account stiffs multiple CA cities for $327,000 in security costs. The arrival trip Pyers alludes to is an administrative push by Sanders to build up free universal health care through a solitary payer health bill, as indicated by Vox. The bill would see all U.S. residents required to be selected in Medicare inside 4 years. The bill dispenses with every restorative cost from those enlisted and requires the administration to take care of everything. Keeping in mind the end goal to do this, the administration will build up a duty climb, assessed to be in the trillions of dollars. The Medicare for All Act assumes that U.S. natives are qualified for nothing boundless health care, aside from restorative trivial items like plastic surgery. The conviction is that Americans would have the capacity to bear the cost of the tax hikes since they are never again paying for medical costs. In spite of not having a solid arrangement on the table to pay for it, Sanders trusts tax hikes and what cash the administration has ought to have the capacity to pay for it, by demonstrating the contemptuous state of mind Sanders appears to have for monetary obligation and money-related dissolvability. Shockingly, 33% of Democrats were upbeat to agree with Sanders on the bill. The captivating thing about Sanders neglecting to pay his security debts is that he should, hypothetically, be more than fit for paying for them, as indicated by an article in Time. In 2016, Sanders was assessed to have earned more than $1 million, generally from book royalties. The Greatest Worker, Our Revolution, distributed 7 days after President Trump was chosen, turned into a smash hit, gaining him $795,000. Aside from his book deals, Sanders earns $174,000 from his work as a senator. Between the $1 million in individual salary and the claimed $5 million remaining over from his campaign coffers, Sanders ought to effectively have the capacity to pay off the $450,000 he owes for the security services given to him in the different cities he campaigned in. Despite the fact that it is conceivable that Sanders might be declining to pay out of principle, he is after every one of the a solid against entrepreneur who's fixated on wage imbalance and censures cash's part in politics. His political position has additionally inclined towards a state of mind of another person should pay, while being uncertain of who or how. Maybe he's purposefully not paying these debts, trusting, similar to his voters, that somebody with more cash should pay for his costs. It'll be fascinating to check whether the city he visits in California will take care of everything again for his security detail, knowing he likely won't pay it. What do you think about this? Do not hesitate and write your thoughts in the comment section below. Thank you for reading. HT The Daily Wire. Sessions just explode. He says he's had enough. DOJ will now interview in all. You know, things have become crazy when the boss needs to step in and set individuals straight. What's more, the liberal war on free speech in this nation is recently that wild. Americans can't protest, watch a speech, or express a conclusion any longer without getting assaulted. In some cases, actually. It's the reason Jeff Sessions is prepared to intervene in school free speech cases, and to toss the full weight of the Justice Department behind assaulted conservatives. Via Breitbart. Decrying what he sees as political correctness run amok, Attorney General Jeff Sessions said Tuesday the Justice Department will support students who sue universities claiming their free speech rights were violated. In declaring free speech under attack on college campuses, Sessions dove into the issue of conservatives who argue their voices are being drowned out on college campuses. Speeches by right-wing figures have been derailed by protests and threats of violence. That last paragraph is outrageously understating the obvious. Sense, honest truth, conservative voices are being muffled on school campuses. Consider the evidence. Milo Yiannopoulos endeavored to talk, and there were riots. Ann Coulter attempted to talk, and the college just crossed out her appearance. What's more, dislike the colleges didn't need these speakers there in any case. They took their invitations back, after an excessive number of leftist students grumbled. Or, then again, rather, just had a BTCH tantrum. And keeping in mind that I'd love to state that the free speech disapproved of era of youthful college scholastics, dreadful of what might occur in an America overwhelmed by an overbearing hive mind, rose to the event and requested that the right voices be permitted to talk, with the goal that the left brains should think about, consider, and acknowledge what a great thing the First Amendment is for this delicate nation. It just didn't occur that way. Which is the reason the main recourse for most college conservatives is to sue the college. Furthermore, request that they regard the First Amendment. Also, that is only a hell of a lot easier demanding to do on the off chance that you have the U.S. Attorney General at your back. What's more, he does. Protesters are now routinely shutting down speeches and debates across the country in an effort to silence voices that insufficiently conform with their views, Sessions said. As he spoke, the Justice Department announced it would lend its support to a student who argued his rights were violated when administrators limited where he could preach Christianity on campus. Sessions coordinate his words with his deeds. We could utilize more folks like that in D.C. What do you think about this? Do not hesitate and write your thoughts in the comment section below. Thank you for reading. H. T. Breitbart.